Howdy everybody, it's DJ. So I'm doing another cooking class, on the same thing when it comes to vegetables. So, I figured if I did something once, I should do it at least twice. Because the first time I made this, it was actually very, very good. And so I hope I don't mess this one up. But, I'm gonna do something as a kid that I didn't ever really like, which was Brussels sprouts. Like, the idea of it was horrifying to me. I had a neighbor friend named Russell, and I was like, oh man, you're so close to Brussels sprouts, or Brussels sprouts. It's unfortunate, because I hate them so much. But the thing is that we have to learn to work with what we don't like, and find out a way to give it flavor, so that we do like it. And so today I am going to try something with Brussels sprouts and hope that it turns out well. And then I'll let my friend Russell know. Like, dude, you have an awesome name. It's right up there with Brussels sprouts. So, first things first though, what we want to do is we're going to bake them. So, I've got my baking pan out here. I've got it lined already. I need to spray it down with olive oil, but we're going to do prep work first. I've got my mise en place, everything in its place, everything that I need. I just need to make sure that I stay focused as I do the whole thing, and things should go well. So what it says initially is to set your oven to 400 degrees. Alright, so it's going to take a little while for the oven to hit that point. So we'll start with our Brussels sprouts. And I've got what's going to accompany it is feta cheese. You're going to have some bacon. It's the recipe I found, that's what it said best to use. We're also going to use olives. We'll use olive oil spray, olive oil itself, and then some red peppers that we're going to roast in the oven with the Brussels sprouts. So, let's get started. Now, some of these Brussels sprouts, be careful, they aren't the best. So what we're going to do is you want to have them. So cut them in half. And if any of them have anything strange on them that you think, that doesn't look very edible, like this one, it's kind of brown around here, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half, as it says to do, and I want to chop off the end, but you don't want the whole thing to fall apart. So there we go. But this half, I'm just going to toss. And the thing is that it calls for about 2 pounds of this. I have around 3 pounds. This one looks beautiful, so we'll keep it whole. Cut off the end. Slice it down the middle. And we've got 2 more. But again, we don't want them to fall apart, which Brussels sprouts do. And I've already rinsed them off. Always make sure you rinse your vegetables. You don't know exactly where they came from. And if you don't, best to wash them off. They smell really good though. This one, yeah, it looks fine. So I'll cut through. It seems a little soft. And I'm just going to line these up here. I think this one can actually just go. And it's at your discretion, whatever you cook, however you cook things. You do it your way. and have fun with it. You know, that's the thing about cooking, is it's not a chore. Well, especially if you're in a good relationship with somebody, and you know you come down to some ground rules, which Melanie and I have, where it's like, all right, if you cook, I'll do the dishes. Oopsie, that one's bad. And if you cook, I'll do the dishes. If I cook, then you'll do the dishes. You know, and it's very straightforward. This one almost seems like a loss, but we'll cut on through. Like I said, it's something for you to look forward to in a relationship. It's important to set down those ground rules with each other and just say, hey, I made dinner tonight, do you mind doing the dishes? And hopefully the other person will be like, oh yeah, of course. Makes sense. Okay, so I've got a bunch of these to go through, so I'm going to pause the video for a bit until I get through everything. But I'll be right back. But you get the general idea. Alright, give me a moment. Hey, welcome back. Okay, so I've got everything done here on my end. So I've been eating a little bit of the feta cheese, because it's really good. So what I'm going to do is, now, I've got my pan here. It says you can put tin foil down as well. I kind of prefer these things. They're washable, they're reusable, and then it's less wasteful. You just have to wash it off, and you can even throw them in the dishwasher, and it'll wash them just fine. But I want to give a good coating down at the bottom here. And then I'm going to put my Brussels sprouts down on top of that. Alright, so we got a good coating. Now we're just going to start putting Brussels sprouts down. I'm going to leave some space in between them. Only because there's a second step that I want to make sure that we get to. And what that is the roasted red pepper, which is going to go with this. Now this is a lot of Brussels sprouts, which is a good thing. I'll be having this lunch and things like that for a little while. This one's done. And this is why you want to be careful. Is when you cut the ends off, sometimes things go awry. But you know, overall, it's gonna do just fine. Like I said, and with this layer of olive oil down, it won't burn. It's not supposed to burn. And we're gonna pat this whole thing up with the Brussels sprouts. Start doing 2 at a time, instead of just using one hand. But I still want to leave those spaces. And then what will happen is there will be a fusion of flavor between the Brussels sprouts and the roasted red pepper. Now I'm only going to use, because I only have a certain amount of space here, I'm only going to use what I think is best. I'm not going to use 2 pans for this. Alright, and so we're almost done putting down the Brussels sprouts. Room for 2 more. 1, 2. I'm going to choose my big ones. Now the rest of these, unfortunately, are going to go in the green waste. But such is life. know, like I said, I'm not doing 2 batches of this. I'm doing 1 batch. And this is about, it was 3 pounds. They say about 2 pounds for the recipe. And so I had a pound to play with it. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're going to open up our chili bag. And this says to use about, I'm doubling the recipe. So it says for a 1/4 of a cup of finely, well, it says finely chopped. I'm not going to do it that way. And that's the fun of this. Is that as you continue to cook, you'll start to realize that there are things that you can do that go against what everybody else is telling you to do. Now, what you do want to do is de-seed this. Oh, there's actually not that many seeds in this one. But you just want to take that part out. Yep, that looks good. This one actually does have some seeds. So we'll take that out. Alright. Then I'm going to just place these in between. And I'm going to use as many as I can to fill up this tray. Because what I want is flavor. And together, these will, with salt and pepper and everything like that on top, these are going to turn into fantastic flavors together. Because you get the sweetness of the red pepper. And then you get the earthiness of the Brussels sprouts. Because they come from the ground. They're not growing on a tree or nothing like that. But boom, 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 boom. Right, de-seeded as well as possible. Find places in between there to put them down nice and halved. Okay, and I still have room for more. And I'm going to use that room to make sure that we have something delicious. So give me a bit and I'll spread more out. Okay, welcome back. So I've got everything down here that I want down. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees. One thing I want to do though is we clean as we go. And right now my board does not look good. So take the time to clean things off as you go. Because it makes for a much more easy cooking experience overall. But I like to make sure that my stuff is ready to go. Okay. In fact, the way you have more than one cutting board, that one has had his due for the day. Good job and thank you. Much appreciated. I'm going to switch to my smaller guy. Alright, but my knife. I need to clean that off because I still need my knife. Okay, so we have this ready to go, which is fantastic. Now what we need to do is spray it down on the top with olive oil again. So we're going to take the olive oil spray and go over the top of everything. I need to buy more olive oil spray. And then what we're going to do is we're going to salt and pepper it. So I'm going to start with the salt. And you want to do this liberally, as they say, which just means a lot. Because what's going to happen is, with the olive oil on top as well, all that flavor is going to stick in. It's going to catch on easily. As you can see, it's just sitting on top there, which is wonderful. And that's what we want. We want some wonderful flavor. I need to fill up my pepper. Running a little low. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. So what we'll do is we'll take this, put it in the oven. I'm going to set the timer for 20 minutes. Now it says 20 to 25, but I always start with basic smallest level at 20. And we can move this up now. And then I can see, but you just want them to kind of start to get golden brown and things like that. But now I have 20 minutes to work with the rest of my ingredients. So what I want to do, well, first actually I want to clean my station a little bit. Like I said, clean as you go. The cleaner the station, the better you see, the better you understand, and also the easier everything kind of becomes. When things start to become messy, a lot of people start to get lost in the mess. Now, and I don't want that for anybody. I want us to be able to go through this and be proud, and have cooking be a fun thing. Because to me, cooking is an incredibly fun thing. Alright, but now I've got chemicals on my hands, so I'm going to wash my hands. Dry them off. Okay, now it says to use 2 pieces of bacon, chopped finely. But I'm doubling the recipe, so I need 4 pieces of bacon. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have much left now, which is good. I want to make sure that I use it all. Okay, so I want to chop this up. And, it's easy if you line them up really well with each other. Kind of go along the top. Chop, chop. Slice, chop. And bacon is very fatty, so, sometimes it may take a bit to get through some of the sinew, but you'll do it. Maybe I should just do 2 sides at a time. So a little bit faster. There we go. And be very careful with your fingers. Don't ever want anybody to get hurt. Knives are sharp. And I have definitely cut myself before. It's not a fun thing. I mean, in a way you have to throw away your entire dish. Unless you're somebody that you're living with that doesn't mind enjoying part of you in the dish. And again, I'm going to chop this kind of finely. And I'm not really chopping, I'm just kind of slicing through. Because no matter what happens with bacon is it cooks down. This is a good amount of bacon. Okay. Now it says the same thing, and it says for this recipe to use Kalamata olives. I'm not a big fan. I hate to say. Sorry, my phone is locked. It won't recognize my fingerprint. There we go. But it says Kalamata olives, and you're supposed to use 2 tablespoons of finely chopped Kalamata olives. Well, I prefer green olives, and so that's what I'm going to go with. And so 2 tablespoons, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons, basically the rest of this jar. But you also want to save the brine, which is just the liquid in here. But I'm going to remove these, and then, oops, lost much of the brine. Okay. So I'm not working smart. Now I'm working smart. Get a spoon, and it's a lot easier to get them out than with a knife. Now these olives definitely have pits in them. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I have another jar of olives. I might take a couple. But again, I want to save that brine. Unfortunately, I spilled some. Okay, so since these ones have not been pitted, I'm going to go around it and then pop the pit out. If it'll let me. It really likes this pit. Alright. Goes in the garbage. Again, go around. Be very careful as you do it. Find the pit. Let's try to bust it out. And honestly, to me, this just means these are good olives. That they don't want to be released from their pit. And I'm going to chop them finely, so, you know, it doesn't matter how much of it actually holds on. But I do want this, you know, I want the olivey taste to it. Let's see how this works. There we go. Boom. There goes that pit. There goes that bit. So let me finish doing this, and I'll be right back with you. Alright. Hold on one second. Okay, so we're back here with the olives. Now, I did use a few more from another jar, which also they were jalapeno stuffed, which I don't like as much, but what are you going to do? But I also want to cut these down, make sure they're in nice sizes. Keep the bacon aside. And the Brussels sprouts are definitely roasting off, which is perfect. Alright, so now we've got our olives done. Fantastic. Oh man, my phone is rebooting. It's unfortunate. Let's see. So what I need to do is bake down the olives. Use olive oil at the base of and this is my iron skillet, cast iron skillet. I want to get this pretty hot, not too hot, but I'm going to start to cook everything down. And this is to add to everything that I've done already. So I have a little bit of time to wait. I've got about 6-7 minutes left. For the Brussels sprouts to check on them. And then once I check on them, we can move forward. And hopefully my phone will be rebooted by that time, because I do need that recipe. Alright, but I still have my feta cheese ready to go. The bacon I can take and put away. A little olive on my fingers. Alright, this is starting to get warm. That's good. Dry this off a little bit. That now needs to go in the wash. Okay, my phone is restarted. Okay, this is getting a little warm, so we're going to turn it down. We're going to go low and slow. I'm going to start with the olive. I'm going to get a nice color on them. We'll start adding the bacon. Smells terrific. I wish you could smell that. Smells amazing. Now I'm gonna wait and let everything cook down. But I also need to stir things around, so I'm gonna get my friend Little Yellow. And what's gonna happen is a lot of this bacon is just gonna render off this wonderful fat that will impart into the entire dish. But I really want to get it down a lot more. I'm also going to throw in the feta for a bit. Now the recipe doesn't call for this. And I have changed up the recipe for my own purposes. And again, that's what makes cooking fun, is I don't have to listen to what everybody else says. Everybody might say like, oh, well, just try theirs first. Or I can do what I know and what makes sense to me. I want to clean as I go because that did spatter quite a bit of stuff everywhere. But as you notice, I don't want to spray any chemicals into the food, so I just go down and around. Again, I really want that bacon to cook down a lot more. Cook in with those olives. This is definitely a good flavor profile. Alright, I'm going to need a place to put my pan down on once everything's ready to go. And my phone is going crazy for some reason. Alright, now I have 12 text messages for some reason. I just want to make sure I have everything going right. Alright, so it says, I'm sorry, I've been very quiet. Meanwhile, add the Kalamata olives, chopped olives, and into a large mixing bowl, which we have right here. But not everything is cooked down to the point where I feel comfortable with yet. Let me turn this up a little bit. But I definitely want this bacon cooked down a lot more. Alright, and I got about a couple of seconds before I need to check to see if I need to put 5 more minutes. Let's see what it looks like. Woo! That's a punch. Alright, they look pretty good. What I think though is 5 more minutes isn't going to hurt. That'll give me time to get this to cook down. This bacon, though, as good as it is, having trouble cooking. Now, just for fun, I'm going to add some garlic. Extra level of taste. And what you do again is you just smash it. You just smash. I didn't do it very well. Smash. Palm heel it. There we go. And then everything comes out pretty easily. Then I'm going to want to mince the garlic. Smells are amazing. The garlic's just going to add more smell. I know a lot of you think it makes your breath smell bad and things like that. But, you know, it's really flavorful. And it's actually really good for you. Just throw some garlic in there. Give it a little bit more. Oh, things are sticking. We don't want that. Bacon is cooking down. This is all good stuff. One more thing I need to do is I want to add lemon at the very end. But I'm also supposed to add this stuff here. Alright, so I got about 2 minutes left there. It says, what's up? It says half of a cup of feta. So I'm going to put some of the feta right into here, and then the rest of it I'm going to leave for the top. Okay, and now I need to look at the recipe again real fast. So 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Well, it says 1 tablespoon, but since I doubled everything, I'm have to do 2. There's 1. 2. And then it says how much. Oh, so we want 4 tablespoons of the brine. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Whoa, that was hot. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. And everything should be ready to go. Alright, so what we're going to do now is add this to our bowl. My feta has actually melted really well. I'm going to have to do this recipe again because I don't think I did it as much justice as it deserves. It does smell wonderful though. I don't really want any of the olive oil that's left over in here to slip in. Alright. Now that we've added everything, put this aside. Alright. Now we take out this stuff. Perfectly done. Nice and brown. Just the way you want it to look. Here, let me show you. That is just the way we want everything to look. Now what we're going to do is take this and transfer it over here in the best way. Yeah, let's just use this guy. It's going to be crunchy. Losing stuff. No! I lost a whole pepper. But again, things are very hot when they come out of the oven, so be very careful. Alright, so there's that. And then let me get this stuff here. That I want to keep. Yeah, perfect. Then we're going to put the rest of our feta on there. We'll take our olive oil and brine, drizzle it over the top. Kind of cool everything down. That in the sink. Then last but not least, I've been on a huge kick when it comes to lemon. And it is lemon season, so it's a great way to go. Alright. And there you have yourself. And then, well, you want to toss it. Get all those flavors involved. But there you have a wonderful dish. And all I need now is for Melanie to come inside and take a taste of this dish. And she can serve herself as much as she wants. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll let you know how it tastes. I'll talk to you later on. Ciao for now. Bye, everybody.